Easton has always been that place that has potential, like especially the downtown area. I mean, it's beautiful. I hate to use this word, but it's historic and charming. And let's be honest, that's what people like. And it's awesome. It's great that it's been maintained. The low-hanging fruit type of stuff is beautification, which we'd already started on last year, but there's obviously more beautification that we can do, sort of greening up, getting flowers in the tree wells, getting more trash cans out, more benches and things to sit on. And those, I know those sound really stupid, but those are kind of the first impression as a visitor when you come to town to see that there's actual like life and vitality, you know? There's that. And then just, you know, making sure we have some really great long-term businesses that have been down there for years and years, some for decades, and they are amazing businesses and they're known. There's people who travel here to go to them. If you have that type of base and then you can fill in with some other needed types of businesses, that can make for a really healthy, strong downtown. And then the bonus, which I love, so we have the main downtown core, but then we have the Hill District commercial area at Aurora and Dover, which just, I mean, obviously there's been a lot that's been done over there and it still has so much more potential to be a great little incubator for small businesses. And it just, I love the culture and just the ethnic diverse over there. But you have to have a strong downtown core in order to build strong community around. Strong housing, strong businesses, manufacturing, the bigger types of businesses that are larger employers. If we can have this very productive, very entertaining, very enticing downtown core, that talks about your quality of life and what you have to hear for your kids, for your friends that come to town. And so I still think all that potential is still there. And I think there's some good forward motion on a lot of projects downtown and a lot of things that are happening. One of the other things, and we've now finally have some clarity on, is we've acquired the Discover Easton branding. Many people know as an organization, and yes, it was an organization, but it was also a brand, and it was born as a brand before that. And it's a tourism brand. It is destination branding for downtown, but what I love about it is because it's called Discover Easton, it means all of Easton. Because if you're gonna come here and visit, maybe spend the weekend or something, obviously we would want you to spend some time downtown and to eat and dine at our local independent restaurants, but there's other attractions and things outside of downtown that are within Easton that we want you to explore and discover. And it's also something, besides working for just tourism and visitors, it works for us as residents. Like, these are the things that we have to discover here, because I mean, how many times, you've lived here a long time, but how many times do you talk to someone and you talk about like, oh, I love going to the taqueria over here, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I think it's a good solid brand. It's been around for a long time, and I think it has staying ability, and it can help to represent everything we have. And that's important to have a tourism. And I can tell you that for us, there's been a lot of emphasis on downtown, we're also looking at the east side of town. It's a fabulous neighborhood that also has, again, this cute little commercial district. And so that's one of the things that we want to make sure that we're maintaining, still that neighborhood feel, that walkability to businesses and restaurants. And so looking at a small area plan, working with town on that side, there's also a lot of places that are opportunity for redevelopment, right? There's a couple open parcels. There's obviously the roof center that everyone talks about. You know, there's various things over there. So, you know, while we're working on a plan of what we would like for that to look like, and working with, there's a really great neighborhood association on that side of town that's very strong, working with them and their neighbors to get the word out and try to get back their feedback on, well, what do you want over here? Like, what do you need over here? What do you see over here? And that's the types of things that we've written into our plan for what we're gonna do, and identify our properties and things we can go after, and then work with developers. I mean, we do have some developers that are already looking at a couple parcels over there and giving them direction on, you know, obviously they come in with their ideas. Like, they're just seeing a listing on LoopNet or whatever and go, oh, well, that's enough square footage, we can do whatever. And they come in with their ideas, but then we have to step back and say, here's actually what the community's asked for. Redevelopment plans take time. There's a plan in place. It's just gonna take some time before you're gonna start to actually see it or hear about it publicly. But there's not, you know, we have some meetings. We've been talking with some, brewery is very important and popular right now. We don't have a brewery, so there have been discussions with some people about that, and then just restaurants in general. We could use some more restaurants, but it's finding a space for them. You know, moving into a restaurant that was previously a restaurant and having to do some updates is a dramatically different investment than to have to outfit like the old news center and turn it into a restaurant. That the impact and the investment that goes into that are dramatically different. And going into 2023, I don't know if somebody necessarily wants to do a full build out, but maybe they're willing to at least look at redeveloping and improving a current space. But right now it's finding spaces that's a little challenging, especially, but we also do economic events. So something like Fire and Ice is an economic impact. I mean, it is obviously no secret that between January and May-ish, things are very slow everywhere. You've spent all your money at Christmas and now you're just sort of hunkered down for the winter. But at some point you get a little bit of cabin fever and you need to get out. And then our businesses, they still pay rent and they're still paying employees and they're still doing all that. So that's an economic event. It's to get you out and get you around town. All the events that the Easton EDC now puts on downtown and things that we're in charge of. We partner on First Night Talbot. The next event after that is Chesapeake Fire and Ice. After that, we have the St. Patrick's Day Parade. We also have the Easter Bunny Egg Hunt, which typically takes place over in the courthouse area. We also work with the merchants on merchant-focused events, like things that are to get foot traffic down, again, the economic development. So last year they had started the May Day event. We had done a couple of outdoor movie nights, and we want to do more of those this summer, but move them around to our different parks. And then obviously we do the holiday parade. We work on Shop Small with the downtown merchants. And we take care of Moonlight Madness, working with the merchants. And I'm trying to think if we have anything else. That's a lot.
Well,